Good evening and thanks for joining us. We begin with that convoy heading to Ottawa. It rolled into the Greater Toronto area today. One of the demands is an end to vaccine mandates for cross-border truckers. It is hard to know who is here for that and who is angry about a whole lot of other things. There are people who hate the Prime Minister and some who want to overthrow the government, and there's lots of hostility towards the media.
More news, bro. Telling the guys, you piece of.
It's also hard to know the exact numbers. Hard to know, too, how many are actually truckers. There are lots of pickups and other vehicles.
We are here on the north edge of the city of Toronto, and take a look at this. There are hundreds of people gathered here, many of them with Canadian flags, many of them carrying signs condemning vaccine mandates and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. A lot of truckers, of course, but a lot of ordinary vehicles as well. A lot of people here who aren't truckers, aren't related to the trucking industry at all. And a real sign that this movement has become about much more than truckers and vaccine mandates.
The protest appears to have spiraled into a catch-all for countless other issues.
It started with a fairly specific concern about COVID-related mandates and has expanded out exponentially from that to, include far-right concerns around globalization, multiculturalism, anti-government, anti-Trudeau sentiment.
This expert in conspiracy theories says other members have also called for the protest to become Canada's January 6th, a reference to the crowds that stormed the U.S. Capitol last year.
Is this a peaceful movement that's being hijacked by other groups?
Well, that's really hard to say. Everyone does have the right to protest, but there are other actors who may be engaged who see this as an opportunity for something else.
Ottawa police are concerned enough that they're preparing for a range of scenarios, including the potential for violence.
It's not just your regular protest coming to the city, so people are concerned. I will await as we know more and see more. I understand that in other areas we have not seen violence, but that was not their target. The target is Ottawa.
A lot of angry people, and a lot of that anger was directed at us as journalists. Myself and my colleagues here faced a lot of verbal abuse all day, and in fact one local news crew called police here at one point after they said that one of the protesters tried to drive their cars into one of the reporters while he was doing his work. So some very tense moments today, fueling fears that those tensions may bubble over when that convoy arrives to Parliament Hill.